and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Laura Rose, and today I'm going to be doing a June and July wrap-up. If you have noticed, I've fallen a little bit behind on my channel. Haven't really been tweeting that much because summer has been so busy for me. I went on vacation with my family. My best friend's wedding is in September, so I'm getting ready for that. And Zach and I got engaged, so now I am planning my own wedding. I don't have my ring right now because it's getting resized, but I'll show it to you when I get it back. So it has been super crazy, but I have been reading a ton thanks to audiobooks. I finished 7.5 books in the last 2 months, and every single one of them, except for one novella, is an audiobook. So I found that I can rent my audiobooks through the library app on my phone, and then I can listen to them while I'm at work. It has been so awesome because I just really have not had that much time to read, and this way work goes by so much faster, and I'm getting paid to read books. Alright, so let's get into it. In June, I read 4 books. The first one was Partials by Dan Wells. Partials is a post-apocalyptic science fiction story, and it's about a girl named Kira who lives in this settlement community of the last humans on Earth, and they are unable to give birth to any new children that survive. So essentially, the human race is going to go extinct unless they're able to have a baby that lives through the virus that killed the entire world. There also is this threat of the Partials, which are half human, half machine kind of cyborg that was created by the humans, and they rebel and release this virus into the air, and now they've disappeared for 11 years. So Kira is living in this post-apocalyptic world trying to save babies, and there's always this threat of the Partials coming back to attack hanging over them. I really loved this book. The way that Dan Wells builds this society that has crumbled and then another little society living inside of it was so fascinating to me. I haven't read a ton of science fiction like this. I know that there are a lot out right now. I actually have never read The Hunger Games. I did see the movie. So this was kind of new for me. But the science fiction that I had read, in this genre, I do love. And I just thought that he showed it to me in such a cool new light and described it really well, especially since it takes place in New York City and on Long Island, and I lived there for a couple years. The next book I read, I'm actually really mad about because I thought it was a novella by Brandon Sanderson. I did not realize it was a series. I'm so pissed because I read The Arithmetist, and it was amazing. It's about this kid that lives in a fantastical magical land where they use chalk drawings to make magic. So you draw symbols on the concrete or on the floor, and those symbols essentially come to life. Some are symbols of protection, some are symbols of attack, and it was such a cool magic system. No surprise, it's Brandon Sanderson. But as I was getting closer to the end of the book, I was like, wow, he's not wrapping this up. What the heck? And I realized, oh my gosh, this isn't a standalone book, it's a series, and the next one is not out yet, and I was so mad because it was really good. And I really hate starting a series that isn't finished yet because I've been burned so badly in my past relationships with books, and I know you guys know who I'm talking about. So I'm very nervous about starting a series that isn't finished. I actually tweeted at Brandon Sanderson twice and whined about it, and I was like, why would you not finish this series? I'm so mad. And he tweeted back and he was like, I'm sorry, I've been working on the Wheel of Time and now I'm doing the Stormlight Archives. And I was like, oh my god, Brandon Sanderson recognized me, because I was yelling at him. It's okay, if he finishes the next Stormlight book, I will be happy because I have trusted him to finish that series in a timely manner, and he's pretty good about that. So anyway, The Arithmetist, really cool magic system, really fun, kind of YA, a little bit of steampunk in there. It was a super cool book and I loved it. But don't read it unless you're prepared to wait. The next book that I read was a novella by Adam Aresti called The Communication Room. It's another sci-fi, again, near future, and it's about a guy that is trying to figure out a test so he can fight back against the people that are attacking him. I actually did a review for that, so feel free to go check it out. Boop! And the last book that I read in June was a reread for me. It was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and oh my god, it was just as good the next time. Oh, I love it so much. If you haven't read The Night Circus and you like fantasy, please go read it. It's a fantasy, steampunk-ish type book, and it's set obviously in the circus. It's 2 magicians battling each other to see who's going to be the victor in a competition of the strongest magician. They use all the tents in their circus as their attacks on each other. So she'll put up one tent of magical things and he responds with another tent of magical things, and it's got this like underlevel thing of mystery kind of going on, a little intrigue, steampunk, fantasy, circus, so whimsical. I can't even talk about it. I'm sure there are a bunch of reviews on BookTube that just give it way more credit than I do. I'm just saying, like, I'm so overwhelmed by how amazing this book is. I think it might be my favorite book of all time. And rereading it just brought back all these good feelings. In July, I actually finished the partial series, and I read Fragments and Ruins, which are both by Dan Wells. There are 3 books in the series, and they were so great. They just continue on this post-apocalyptic world that Kira is in, and they follow her on her adventure. I'm not going to talk more about them because if you haven't read the first one, I don't want to give anything away, but they were amazing. It wraps up so well and also leaves a little open-ended. I'm like, please write another book. I definitely want to see them explore the world more. You should definitely go check it out if you like sci-fi. The other book that I just finished reading is called Heads and Beds, and it's by Jacob Tomsky, and this is kind of a memoir of his life working in the hotel industry. It also has tips and tricks on how to get better service at hotels and in the hospitality industry, and it was so funny. I love me a good memoir, and Jacob Tomsky was a hilarious writer, really raw, really edgy, and it was fun to see like behind the scenes. In every job you have, you're kind of like the insider. You have all this knowledge, amazed at all the stupid things that go behind the scenes. The service industry is such a big industry, and he's got all these things like that you wouldn't believe. Alcoholic managers and sex in the bedrooms, all this stuff. It was only written in 2013, so it's pretty recent. And it was kind of a coming of age story, something I think that a lot of us millennials can relate to, because he wanted to travel the world, he wanted to go do things, but he had such a good job and he didn't know anything else, and his degree was pretty much worthless. So yeah, something that we can all relate to. It was a really funny memoir. If you like memoirs and you like a cool edgy writing, you should definitely go check it out. Heads and Beds by Jacob Tomsky. The half book that I'm putting on here is Happier at Home by Gretchen Rubin. This is actually a reread for me, and I technically finished it a couple days ago, so it's actually half July, half August. Happier at Home is a sequel to The Happiness Project, where Gretchen Rubin takes on a series of resolutions throughout the year to try and make her happiness better and learn what she can learn about how happiness affects us and how we can make our life better by changing the things that we do. And so Happier at Home is a sequel, and she talks about trying to make her home a comforting, loving place and basically trying to better yourself. I love me a good happiness book as well, and this is a memoir / self-help book. I actually almost finished it in a day because I was listening to it at work all day, and it was so good. I've read it before, and it's just another reread that always makes me feel good about myself, kind of reminds you of the things that are important in life and how to take life less seriously and have fun while still getting your shit done that you need to get done. So if you like a self-help book, you should check that one out. I'm actually going to go to work right now and go finish the last hour of the audiobook. And then I'm probably going to buy it because I want to listen to it all the time. That is my June and July wrap up. I finished so many books. I'm hoping that I can do just as many in the next month and maybe actually read a physical book. I'm working on Soledad by D.L. Young right now. He sent this to me for a review, and I am just getting started into it because I haven't had that much time, but so far it's pretty good. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you comment, subscribe, like, and tell me what books you've read in the last couple of months. If there's anything good that I should read, leave a recommendation down below because I always like recs. If you can't tell, I like sci-fi, fantasy, and memoirs. If you have anything that falls in those categories, boom, let me know. Alright, thanks for watching, guys! And as always, have a glittery day! Bye!